players that we are possibly panicked about, and maybe some actionable advice, if there is any, for the rest of the fantasy season. So first and foremost, there are teams out there that have not yet cut Kyle Pitts. He had a pulse last week. He had about 9 PPR points. What do you do if he's on your team?
I got him on one league. I got Kittle on that team, so I just have him on a 10-man bench. It would be a little squeezed if it was a 5 or 6-man bench. You start getting injuries and you start wondering, you might have to cut him. The skill, what the size, speed, talent level is, at least on paper. And so you still want to hold on to him, but it's the worst kind of player because most players that they don't pan out, you just cut him. You don't think twice about it. And Pitts is always one that you regret. Last year he was terrible and he finally got hurt. Not cutting yet, but Desmond Ridder is terrible. Desmond Ridder is just like Drake London. You got to be worried about too. He's like, is he even that threshold as a passer to get these guys the ball? And it's actually hurting Bijan Robinson a little bit too, because you need to sustain drives. You need to have the threat of a passing game. And, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Next player that I'm panicked about, Chris Liss, Najee Harris. I took him in the 3rd round based on his volume, his workload. He's already been, last year, the last handful of games, he was performing. He was scoring touchdowns. Should we be panicked about Najee Harris?
If you had high hopes, because Jalen Warren is in there on the passing downs, and that's bad. Tomlin was always a one-back guy. It was always like if D'Angelo Williams replaces Le'Veon Bell, then D'Angelo Williams is the RB1 that week, and then it's Le'Veon Bell. It was just whoever the guy was, that guy was getting all the carries. And then Bell would come back and D'Angelo Williams wouldn't even get a carry. But now they're really splitting. And, when Warren's coming and getting those valuable 3rd down and pass catching reps, that really hurts Najee. Najee, he's okay, but he's a bit sluggish. He doesn't have that burst. He's not super quick. There's a whole new generation of running backs, the Kenny Walkers and Travis Etienne's and Jahmyr Gibbs. And now Devin A-Chain. Those guys are super quick, super fast, super light. And then Najee is kind of this plotter. He's kind of like Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon actually ran a 4.43, but it's just, they're all just a bit bigger and slower to get moving toward the line. And I think the upside is modest for Najee.
Would you trade away Najee Harris if someone said, hey, I'll give you Jerry Jeudy?
Oh, Jeudy was on my list of guys I'm a little bit worried about, and I have him in the league. Yeah, if I need a receiver, I would do it. I think that's fine. I think that's fine value. The other guy, I was thinking more like Christian Watson, right? He's probably coming back.
He's playing on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, he's coming back tonight. But we saw with Cooper Kupp, you could easily aggravate something. But yeah, that would be what you would want to get for him if you could get it.
If Christian Watson has a poor game on Thursday, if he has a 3 for 28, but it's 7 targets, would you trade Najee Harris for that?
Yeah, probably.
Josh Jacobs. I'm panicked about Josh Jacobs, but he's getting all of the work.
Yeah, and also Garoppolo, and I think he's concussed, but it looks like he's going to be all right, was checking down to him a lot in the prior game. I just saw every play was a check down. That was the guy I was looking for. So they had some tough matchups. The Raiders are obviously always dysfunctional, but I have a bad vibe about Jacobs. I think he's going to get hurt. Right when he starts getting the work, he's going to get hurt. I just feel like I was out on him a bit this year. Setting my vibe aside, I don't think you should be panicked on him on his role, and he seems healthy for now. Rhamondre, who I was high on, I didn't get. I feel like, Zeke's doing more than I thought a little bit, and that offense is just so sluggish. There's no playmakers on the offense. So it just doesn't seem like – it just seems like a very grinded out offense and nothing dynamic. And so Rhamondre, I thought, was, maybe going to be a 65, 70 catch, 1,000-yard guy, and now I'm thinking more 800, 900 and 55 and not a lot of touchdowns, and it's not as appealing.
Who's a quarterback that you're panicked about?
Lamar Jackson. I don't like Lamar Jackson. Actually, the other tight end I wrote down was Mark Andrews.
Okay.
He started up banged up.
Start with Lamar, and we'll come back to.
So it's a new offense, right? It's not the offense.
He's been producing.
He got 2 rushing touchdowns last week, but the passing game's just not really there. And the whole idea was, let's turn him into a passer. Let's not, let's go 4 wide. We got Beckham, who's now hurt, obviously. Bateman and Zay Flowers and Andrews will come back, and let's open this thing up. And I just don't think the offense is very crisp. The Ravens are not moving the ball very well. And I don't know. I just don't. And, he got some touchdowns, but every year these running quarterbacks that they get older and take punishment, it's a really uphill climb to be that guy he was 3 years ago with running the ball. So I am a bit worried about Lamar Jackson.
What about Mark Andrews?
Yeah, he started off the season hurt, and I just think this new offense isn't exactly what they're used to. It may take some adjusting, and I feel like the Ravens did a really good job when Lamar came in the league of like tailoring an offense to fit him. Now they get a new coordinator who's going to change things a bit, turn it into something else. And I just don't know that is in their interest or in his interest. So I'm worried about both of them.